This is Ben Hecht with Christo IT Services. We are a managed services provider for IT based out of Harleysville, Pennsylvania, serving the Philadelphia market. And today, with another installation of Making It Work for You, we'll be covering the topic of defending against the COVID-19 cyber scams. Some of the points of discussion for today include social engineering scams, where we'll cover phishing, spoofing, vishing, and smishing, and common indicators of phishing attempts, along with how to avoid being a victim. So, what exactly is a social engineering attack? In a social engineering attack, an attacker uses human interaction to obtain or compromise information about an organization or its computer systems. An attacker may seem unassuming and respectable, possibly claiming to be a new employee, repair person, or researcher, and even offering credentials to support that identity. However, by asking questions, he or she may be able to piece together enough information to infiltrate an organization's network. If an attacker is not able to gather enough information from one source, he or she may contact another source within the same organization and rely on the information from the first source to add to his or her credibility. Phishing is a form of social engineering. Phishing attacks use email or malicious websites to solicit personal information by posing as a trustworthy organization. For example, an attacker may send email from a reputable credit card company or financial institution that requests account information, often suggesting that there's a problem. When users respond with the requested information, attackers can use it to gain access to the accounts. Phishing attacks may also appear to come from other types of organizations, such as charities. Attackers often take advantage of current events and certain times of the year, such as natural disasters, epidemics and health scares, economic concerns, major political elections, and holidays. Vishing is the social engineering approach that leverages voice communication. This technology is combined with other forms of social engineering that entice a victim to call a certain number and divulge sensitive information. Advanced vishing attacks can take place completely over voice communications by exploiting Voice over Internet Protocol, otherwise known as VoIP. VoIP easily allows callers' identity to be spoofed, which can take advantage of the public's misplaced trust in the security of phone services, especially landline services. Landline communications cannot be intercepted without a physical access to the line. However, this trait is not beneficial when communicating directly with a malicious actor. Smishing is a form of social engineering that exploits SMS or text messages. Text messages can contain links to things such as web pages, email addresses, or phone numbers that, when clicked, may automatically open a web browser window or email message in a dial a number. This integration of email, voice, text message, and web browser functionality increases the likelihood that users will fall victim to engineered malicious activities. So, what are some of the common indicators of phishing attempts? Suspicious sender address. The sender address may imitate a legitimate business. Cybercriminals often use an email address that closely resembles one from a reputable company by altering or omitting a few characters. You then have generic greetings and gestures. Both a generic greeting, such as "Dear valued customer" or "Sir, ma'am," and a lack of contact information in the signature block are strong indicators of a phishing email. A trusted organization will normally address you by name and provide their contact information. Spoofed hyperlinks and websites i- are also an issue. If you hover over your cursor over any of the links in the body of an email and the links do not match the text that appears when hovering them, the link may be spoofed. Malicious websites may look identical to a legitimate site, but the URL may use a variation in spelling or a different domain. Additionally, cybercriminals may use a URL shortening service to hide the true destination of the link. There's also general spelling and layout issues. Poor grammar and sentence structure, misspellings, inconsistent formatting are other indicators of a possible phishing attempt. Reputable institutions have dedicated personnel that produce, verify, and proofread customer correspondence. Suspicious attachments. Unsolicited email requesting a user to download and open an attachment is common delivery mechanism for malware. A cyber criminal may use a false sense of urgency or importance to help persuade a user to download an attachment without examining it first. So what can you do to avoid being a victim? You should always be suspicious of unsolicited phone calls, visits, or email messages from an individual asking about employees or other internal information. If an unknown individual claims to be from a legitimate organization, try to verify his or her identity with the company directly. Do not provide personal information or information about your organization, including its structure or networks, unless you are of a person's authority to have the information. Do not reveal personal or financial information in the email, and do not respond to the email with this information. This includes following links sent in email. Don't send sensitive information over the internet before checking a website's security. Pay attention to the uniform resource locator of a website, otherwise known as the URL, and make sure that it reads HTTPS instead of just HTTP. This indicates that the website is secured. If you are unsure whether an email request is legitimate, try to verify it by contacting the company directly. Do not use contact information provided on a website connected to the request. Instead, check previous statements for contact information. Information about known phishing attacks is also available online from groups such as the Anti-Phishing Working Group. Install and maintain antivirus software, firewalls, and email filters to reduce some of the traffic. Take advantage of any anti-phishing features offered by your email client and web browser. A big tip for those of you that are using Office 365, multi-factor authentication comes inherently with your subscription. Please enable that across the organization as fast as possible. Additionally, a $2 mailbox adder called Advanced Threat Protection, otherwise known as ATP, will scan all links and attachments. Whether or not you think they are good or bad, it'll tell you in a web browser before it touches your system. This is Ben Hecht with Cristo IT Services, hopefully helping you defend yourself against the COVID-19 cyber scams that are out there. The best thing that we can do is maintain social distancing from the original virus producers themselves, the hackers. If you have any questions or comments, please reach out to me as fast as possible.